think you own whatever land you land on. The earth is just a dead thing you can claim. But I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. You think the only people who are people are the people who look and think like you. But if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you'll learn things you never knew. Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon? Or ask a grinning bobcat why he grinned? Can you sing with all the voices of the mountains? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? The best line, though, is at the end, right? Where she says, you can own the earth and still all you'll own is earth until you can paint with all the colors of the wind. Okay, hey, there's a Disney tune for Kathy and Teresa. I know you guys love Disney tunes. Welcome to Bella's Bargains. My name is Amy. All right, so this is an extra bonus video. This is like, wait, bonus. So here we are on a Wednesday, which I'm not normally here on Wednesdays, but I am today. Hey, listen, if it's your first time stopping by this channel, because maybe YouTube suggested to me, hey, YouTube, could ya? Be very helpful. Just consider sticking around. We have like so much fun on this channel. Every video starts with a song. Did I say every video starts with a song? And oh my gosh, everything I do on this channel is Dollar Tree, and only Dollar Tree. And do you know why? Because everything at the Dollar Tree is, come on, say it with me, $1, people, $1. That means all of my crafts that I do, everything comes from the Dollar Tree. So I don't even get paint at Lowe's or Hobby Lobby's or Michael's. Everything comes from the Dollar Tree except for my glue gun. I always have to say that. All right, so why are we here today? Well, today's a bonus video because Dawn challenged me. I had to go spend $20 at the Dollar Tree. I had to buy, let's back up. So if you are new here and you want to know what goes on, please consider subscribing, hit that bell and hit all the all notification so you hear something ding every time I upload. It's a very strange sentence. Anyway, because I'm at like 602 subscribers and I have a bet with a grandson and I need everybody's help that I can because he comes here. I'm going to see him on July 20th and I have to be, or July 21st. I don't know, somewhere around there. And I have to be at 650 subscribers. And then I win $5 and it'll be the first money I make on YouTube. And we cannot let him win because he thought I was lame and would never make it on YouTube. What? So I have to win this bet. So just subscribe for no other reason you want to help a poor grandmother win a bet with a grandson. Good reason. Oh, and if you want to know anything about what I do, just click down below. There's in the description box. It talks about the 4 uploads that I do every week, which is Totally Easy Tuesday, which is crafting for the non-crafter. Theme Thursday, which is where I do DIYs and crafts with a theme. Foodie Fridays, where we try food from the Dollar Tree. That one's fun. And then shopping Saturdays, because of course we got to shop at the DT to be able to do all these videos. So I gotta film my haul so you guys see what I got. But today's a bonus video. And again, it's a challenge because I love to ask my subscribers to engage, which brings me to one more thing, and that would be our subscribers craft challenge. Here's the rules right here. These are the rules. All right, we're doing a subscribers craft challenge. And if you're a subscriber, you can get in on this. It's super easy and super fun. I bought 5 things at the Dollar Tree. Let me show you what they are. This beautiful wooden box. 3 things of diamond wrap, red, white, and blue. You know what I forgot to write on here? This is a patriotic theme. Gonna have to do that. And these chalkboard tags that are hearts. And you get 4 in here. All right, so these are the 5 items that you have to buy. And then you have to create a patriotic themed craft. Patriotic themed, by the way. And then you are only allowed to use 3 other things to make your craft. So glue gun counts as 1. markers count as one, so there's 2. But if you wanted to go grab something else from your stash to add to this, you can. Twine counts as 1. Like in my case, it's probably gonna be twine, glue gun, and maybe my furniture markers or a marker of some point. That's gonna do it. Those are gonna be the 3 things I add in. But that's the fun of this, you guys. It's not a challenge if it's easy. But there's no winners in this. It's just us having fun. And then after you have 2 weeks to make your crafts. So by July 12th, your crafts should be done. And then you go to my Facebook page, Bella's Bargains. The link is below. And you send a photo of your craft via Messenger. Then I'm gonna put all of the pictures together and we're gonna do a cool video and I'll upload it on here with everybody's crafts. It'll be totally fun. When you send me your picture, make sure that it's okay that I use your name when I put your picture up, okay? So I have to add to this that it's supposed to be a patriotic themed craft. I forgot to write that down. I'm not perfect. Well, no. Not on Mondays or Tuesdays. I mean, I'm not on Wednesdays. No, not on Wednesdays or Thursdays. Fridays, nope. Saturdays, no. Okay, I'm not perfect. Not even on the weekends. Let's go. So, Dawn, right now, I'm going to insert a video of everything I bought to do this challenge with. Good stuff. So, this is Dawn's challenge. Now, Dawn challenged me to go in and spend $20 and come out with crafts stuff for a new crafter, and then have to be able to make 2 DIYs that are seasonal out of this. So first of all, here's my receipt. It was $21.62 because of tax. So I hope that was okay, Don. I got 20 items, so it's $21.62. I could remove one if that's absolutely necessary, but I don't think it's gonna be necessary. All right, so let me just show you what I got. This is for a non-crafter, $20 supply. Go in and make a couple of crafts. So let me just show you the things that are like normal things that you're gonna find in Crafter's Supply, and then the things that are, you know, more find them in there, like right now things. Okay, so my just everyday crafting supply stuff. Sorry, I'm separating it as I'm talking to you. My everyday crafting supply stuff is this. Is this stuff? Where am I going? I can't. This. Okay, hold on. Still separating, still separating. So I got 20 items. And I'm just gonna throw them back in the bag as I do this. All right, so for a beginning crafter, you have to have Mod Podge, right? So we got some Mod Podge. And I got the matte. I prefer the matte over the shiny. And then you also have to have glue. So assuming a new crafter doesn't yet have a glue gun, I got them tacky glue. A new crafter is not gonna have a paint supply. So we're just gonna start with just a small little thing that you can get in Crafter's Square. Even comes with a brush, imagine that. So to do the paints with. But then also, you're gonna need a brush for like doing your Mod Podge and stuff like that. So we did get a supply of brushes to start off your crafting supply. And absolutely necessary is popsicle sticks. So we got a supply of popsicle sticks, not the colored ones. And then nautical rope. Gotta have nautical rope. You can't do anything. So I didn't get twine. I just got the nautical rope because from the twine you can get, from the nautical rope, you can get twine by dissecting it, right? So I'm like, this is sort of a twofer. So I can take this apart and get twine if I wanted. But okay, so I was looking at like, how do I spend $20 and get enough supplies to do quite a few crafts? One of the galvanized signs, one of their little crates, a sheet of tacky corkboard, one wood wreath, which I was very careful about things that I picked up. This, why did I get this one? Because one wreath, you can do so much. I don't have to wrap the entire thing. So it's like, I could do so much stuff with one wreath and not have to like, I'm not gonna have all this, I don't have a ton of stuff to do other things with. All right, wood beads, and furniture markers. Well, of course, it's absolutely necessary. Now, what did I buy that was not like out of the crafting supply, but things that I bought to use to make 2 projects, all right? So one is the little pine cones. I thought they were scented. Yeah, they are. They're scented. One mercury glass. Can you tell which one of the seasonal things is that I thought we could make? Oh, one cutting board. Why, you ask? Oh, well, I'll tell you. 2 picks. 2. Obviously, fall is one of them. 1 sign. 1 red, white, and blue floral thing right here. And 1 black hanging decor a year of first sign. It's not black on the back side, by the way. This is the one that's just this way. All right, so that's what I got. $20 worth of stuff, and I will be making, on Tuesday's video, on the last part of that video, I will be making crafts with this. That's what I had to use. You guys, let me show you what I have left from that challenge, okay? Because this is fun. Well, I have the brushes that I bought. I didn't use the brushes. You know why? Because this becomes part of the new Crafters Craft Stash. Oh, I have the paints left that I bought and the paintbrush that came with that. Have my furniture markers left, right? Oh, I have Mod Podge and I have my tacky glue left because I did all these without, no, I used my glue gun, what am I saying? Anyway, I still have these left, sorry. And then this is all of the cork board that I have left. Yeah, I used all that. And this is, oh no, there was this little piece of cork board, this stuff in twine. This is all of the rope I have left. Okay, I made 7 things. I think I've got them in the order that I made them. It doesn't really matter. You guys will get what's going on. But I just wanted to point out. So now, gone in and spent $20, made seven crafts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 crafts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I made 10 crafts with $20. Want to see what they are? And then I have all these things to add to my stash. Well, including my a little bit of twine and whatnot. So I have a beginning portion of a stash. What does that mean? It means that you could literally go in and become a crafter starting by spending 20 bucks and then just go in and buy a few things and just start adding to your stash. And this is what I would say to a new crafter. Every time you go in, just pick up one staple thing. Like this is a staple thing. Pencil or brushes are a staple thing. The markers are sort of a staple thing. Doesn't mean you're not going to replace those things at some time, but just start growing your stash of the craft supplies that you need. Okay. So the very first thing I made was this. And it's very cute. It's a fall. There's no noodle in here because it didn't have noodles. I mean, I have noodles, but I couldn't use them. So this is a fall decor piece. And I took some of the beads out of our bag of beads and gave it some little stuff down here. This is 2 picks. Look at what I did on the back side. I added some of those beads to this portion of the pick has like the, I don't know, like the twigs on it or whatever. So I added beads into that, incorporating our little beads here into our thing. I'm gonna pull this out just to show you. I threw string or twine in there to sort of help stabilize it and to sort of cover up the branches. And then when I put my twine on this, I did all these knots. I cut pieces and knotted, because it gave it just a different look, a different dimension, as opposed to just winding the twine. So this was piece number 1. I just thought it was so cute to add the beads into the floral pick to tie the whole thing together. Piece number 1. Then my 2 seasons, I forgot that. Dawn said I had to spend $20 for a new crafter and I had to make 2 seasonal pieces. So that one was fall. Hence the singing of the song Pocahontas Colors of the Wind, because I did quite a few fall pieces and it just made me think of that. Okay, and then I did this piece. Look at that in the middle of this little floral thing. By the way, when you guys buy these, you know you're supposed to like pull them apart, right? So I love adding the bead element on the handle, but I want you to know I didn't string it, you know, all these beads together. I threaded them and then I did a twine around the handle. I like that. Look, it's different. It's way different. And then added a knot ball of twine in the center of that to tie it all together. Cute little patriotic piece. That's numero 2. number 3 is this little number right here. So I took, oh, I just smudged my chalk. That's okay. I took the family sign and I took the top off of it. I backed it with the cork. See, that's the cork back there. I covered up the part of this sign that said my first, or list of my first. I gave it a heavier twine hanger. I wrapped a piece of chalk on it, which the chalk came with the sign, so I didn't even have to buy chalk. And then I wrote like family schedule. And I think in the video I show you like family chores. You know, there's all kinds of things that you could do with this. Super cute, right? Don't you love that? Mm-hmm. That would be craft number 3. Mm-hmm. Then I made this little doohickey, and I had picked up, I had the little crate in there. So one of the picks I removed a few leaves from, and then I had the bag of the pine cones. So I put a pine cone. This is obviously twine. And these are my furniture markers. I put a little hanger on it out of the twine. But you notice I deconstruct the twine all over the nautical rope, all over the place. But I did the 3 colors. So I did the lightest one, then the second one, and then the third one. And then on the top one, to get it even darker, I mixed all of the colors. Is that not so cool, the ombre effect with just the furniture markers? And that's a beautiful little piece, isn't it? So I decoupaged on the leaves, the Mod Podge. I use the Mod Podge. So for a couple of reasons, it stiffens them. So it gives them a little bit of a thickness to them too. I don't know how to explain it, but can you see like that on the side there? See, they're stiffened, but they're sticking out. Just added 1 pine cone and 1 little bow. That was number 4. Number 5, well, I picked up the wood wreath. So we made this number. I just dropped a bead. So I gave the beads, I made the hanger out of the beads. This is the bag that the pine cones came in. You got it. There's like a glue gun string all over. The bag that the pine cones came in. See, I looked at it and was like, I'm gonna use that, it's brown. Then I took my furniture markers and I marked up this wreath to give it a little more dimension and more fall color, not so stark like bleached wood. And then obviously I kept one of the picks out, but one of the things I love about this pine cones, I used the beads just for this little splash of color, but see these little curly cues right there? That, my dear, is the wire from the pick. I deconstructed the pick, I removed the leaves, and then I used all of the stem pieces of wire from the pick and curled them in and threw them in there. But then the base of the pick is this, you'll see in the video, and I took the base of the pick and all the things that were sticking up, put beads on it and put it down at the bottom. Right? So cute. And then I made leaves. This is back here is the corkboard, and I cut leaves out. You'll see in the video. Like there's another one right there, they're back there. So there's that. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. This was number 5. Then number 6, I had the, so, I mean, like that's 3 fall things, right? That was, I did 3 fall, 1 patriotic. Well, I had the back of the family sign left, and I had all those popsicle sticks because I bought a thing of popsicle sticks. And I had my paints. So I thought it's time to do something colorful, very whimsical. So I took the back of the box and I put popsicle sticks all over them, painted them, sort of ombre through, used popsicle sticks and twine and beads to make flowers and like a bush. Isn't that cute? It's so cute. It's so cute, whimsical. It like belongs in a little girl's room, I think. But how cute is that, right? And that's just, this is the second part of that, just the back part of that box. And I just lined it in there with popsicle sticks, and I used this paint, which is not super, I mean, this is like, and just, oh, I think it's so cute. So I used some of my beads, some of the strings, some of the popsicle sticks. But of course I still have popsicle sticks left. And when I made this, there was a stick that came off of it, right? Because it was a stick that went in the ground. So I still had the stick. And so I thought, well, hey, well then I'm just gonna take that stick and make a couple of stars. Now these are so, what's the word I want? Rustic, like farmhouse-ish, like just to stick this in. Actually, I'm gonna grab this right here. Like, this is this big pot that sits on my kitchen counter in the corner underneath my cow. But look, at the 4th of July, just to stick this in there. Hold on, it's a little short, but let's go this way. Just to stick this in there, just to add a little add a little 4th of July in there. See how cute that is? And it's so rugged and rough, but it's perfect. I mean, like, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep with it, pull it out 4th of July. Actually, it's probably gonna go in here now that I've done this and I've seen it, right? And you just add a little bit of 4th of July into something. So easy. And this is a craft you can do with your grandkids too. It's like so easy. It's just making a star out of popsicle sticks, and I glued it on there. And obviously I painted it. Oh, but hey, color alert. Do you see any red? Nope. Well, watch. I made red. So, and it's not like a super strong red, but it's a red and the blue. So I made those. Then I had the cutting board. Okay, bye-bye plants. Now you're in my way. I love this piece though. Can I show you guys? This is on my kitchen counter. It says joy flows from a grateful heart. Isn't that pretty? I bought it at an auction like years ago for a school auction thing. Anyway, okay. So then I had the the glass cutting board, which I purchased. So I still had some of my cork left over, and I still had some of the leaves from the pick. And so I made a fall cutting board. You see that? And I took cork. I'll show it this way. I took cork and I made leaves just by tracing them. And then I used my furniture marker to put some veins into those leaves. And it's the light behind it. Normally it would be sitting on a counter. But then I made a fall cutting board. What am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's number 8. All right. Then I still had some beads left. And I'm like, okay, so what am I going to do with the beads? And I still had some popsicle sticks. So I took my beads. I made a tassel out of my twine. And I made a string of the beads, but I didn't just string them along. A couple of reasons. I wasn't going to get much length because I didn't have that many beads left. So I put a knot in between. So see how I had 2 strings, string it in and then knot. And see that? Can you guys see that? I actually really like this. I think it's a really like rustic farmhouse kind of look to do it like that. And then I took this looks like a rosary. I'm not even Catholic. Okay, well anyway, it doesn't matter. I took my popsicle sticks and I made a cross. It was like the first thing that came to mind. And of course, it's so easy to make a cross. But I want you to see what I did was 3-dimensionalize it. So I did long, and then you put the short one in, and then long, short, and long. And I think that video was not videoing when I did it. That's why I'm showing you. So I cut 3 of the long pieces, 2 of the short, and then you just alternate piling them on top so that you can see. Does that make sense? One side seems longer than the other. Okay, well, it is. This side is longer. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I made this little piece. It's actually a cute little decorative piece. You know, and it's made all from the stuff that I got for 20 bucks. So what number is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then the last piece, which might be my favorite. So I had all these popsicle sticks left, and I still had some twine. I was like, okay, literally, can I get one more craft out of this stuff? Well, I really, really liked how this came out, the ombre effect of the things. And so I thought, I'm just going to build a platter with my popsicle sticks, and I'm going to give it an ombre effect. So I just built it. Guess what, though? Notice this. So, because, you know, they don't really necessarily... If I went and put this under a big book, I could get it to be flat. But I kind of like it like this. I can just see putting a candle on here. And I added the little handles. It's all constructed with popsicle sticks. And then I just ombre. So I counted up how many sticks I had. And then I would like... The first color I did, what was it, 5, 4... 1 coat, then 2 coats, then 3 coats, then 4 coats, then 1 coat, 2 coat, 3 coat, 4 coats, 1 coat, 2 coat, 3 coats, and then, or is it 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3, it doesn't matter. But on the last ones, I just added all the colors. And so to get that full, doesn't that look cool? I'm trying to get it without the light shining through. I guess that can't happen though. How about like this? No, I'm not white. Okay, whatever. Anyway, it came out really cute. And this is just this sweet little like platter thing to put. I could just see putting a candle on it. I think in the video, actually, I put this on it and it's cute. So that was 10 things, you guys, 20 bucks and a glue gun Not bad. I'm pretty proud of myself, actually. I've got to admit, that was a good challenge, Dawn. Thank you very much for throwing that challenge out there. All right, you guys, so since this is Wednesday, this is what I'm talking about. Like maybe the Wednesday videos should be this, like Wish List Wednesday. But also taking the time. The crafts take so much time to make, so I have to really think about this. But maybe we do more than one Wednesdays. Maybe Wednesdays are wish list Wednesdays. Maybe maybe I know what they should be. Wednesdays should just be wild Wednesdays. It's a wild card. You guys don't know what you're getting on Wednesdays. Could be a haul. Could be a craft. Could be a challenge. I think we might have to work on that. I'm not going to start it right away because I got kids coming, going to Disney World and all that. I would probably do it after that. But let me know what you think of Wild Wednesdays. I like Wild Wednesdays. Girls Gone Wild Wednesdays. All right, do you want to see the videos of how I did this all? We're going to go. And I do not speak before each craft, so I'm going to voice over the whole thing. I just videoed the whole thing. I hope you guys like it. Dawn, thank you so much. This was a really fun challenge. I had a great time doing it. This really is, I think, no, I don't know. Yeah, no, these three things I think are my favorite. I'm not sure. I think, oh no, because I really like this too. Whatever. I like them all. I think it was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys like what I did, and I hope, yeah, I just hope you like it. So let's watch a video of how I made all those things, okay? And then at the end of the video, I guess it's bye-bye, and I'll see you tomorrow for Theme Thursdays. Thanks, guys. Have a great day, great week, a great life. Enjoyed the video, and as always, from your singing crafty crafter, happy hunting at your local Dollar Tree. Okay, so I'm just going to take these picks and put them inside. But you'll notice on the second pick, I don't use the whole pick because I need some of that for some other projects. Then I take my twine and I'm going to cut a piece and just separate it so it's a singular strand. And then I did something a little bit different. I just knotted all of these pieces together to give it some extra texture when I went to wind it around the vase. So you'll see here, I just wind and wind, and just having those knots in there just gave it something extra. Still the twine, but it just gave it a cool feel. Something I'll do again, actually, because I kind of liked how it came out. Almost straw, like it kind of gave me a feeling of straw. And then after I tied it, knotted it off, I did run the lighter around it just to get rid of those twine wispies. And then I cut a piece of twine again and separated them all, you'll see, and strung the beads because I want to add like a cluster of beads on the front of the vase, Mercury glass vase, with that fall feel. So of course I choose the fall colors, the green, the yellow, the red, and the orange. I don't do them all the same because doing them all the same they wouldn't lay correctly, so I do like one, I think it has 3 on it. And the beads are slightly different sizes. If you've ever gotten one of these bags of beads, you'll see that. And then I just knotted them and tied them on to the twine that I already had on there. So super easy. And then, again, used my lighter. Then I took this twine, separated it all, cut it in half, and I throw it in the vase like a filler because I don't have anything else to fill with. I actually really like that. Now I'm careful to open up this bag of pine cones. Can you figure out why? You'll see later. Then just put a couple pine cones on there. And then it's done, and it came out so cute. Oh, nope, I add the beads onto the branches, which this was a great touch. it tied in the bead dangling in front. Loved this. And it's really cute. So I love these patriotic metal flowers, but one thing I think people, I don't know, maybe they do, but they need to be fluffed. So I just really worked on bending up the metal, even the very back row, so it gave it some dimension, and then I used some tacky glue and some hot glue and glued it down to our galvanized sign here. And then it was just a matter of sort of embellishing what was already there. So obviously taking some red and blue beads, and I cut my nautical and separated it, so I got one piece of twine and started just stringing the beads. Notice I put a little hot glue on the end so it'll thread through. And then I use the actual tie or hanger to attach this to, and the way I do it is to push it back through to the back so it loops on and snugs onto the knot from the strand of beads. I hope that makes sense. So I use it to tie itself to. And then I wrapped my string of beads, I just wrapped it around. So one bead, then wrap on the hanger, then a bead, then wrap. I loved how this came out. It was a little short, so I had to tie another piece of string on there. And then just took it all the way around the whole hanger. And again, used the hanger itself to knot this onto. And just by, I hope you can see it here, I just take the hanger and I push it back through so that the hanging part ends up in the back. Oh gosh, I hope that makes sense. Anyway, and then use my lighter to burn off those wispies. So at first I tried a bead center. I didn't like that. In the end I thought, no, I really need to tie in the element of the twine nautical rope hanger. And so I made twine knot, and I just knotted and knotted and put it like in a knot bow and put that in the middle, and then I loved that, and this piece is done. Alright, so I took this little sign, it says Year of Firsts, and I'm just going to embellish it with a portion of the family sign. And so first I had to separate family from the box. This took a little bit, didn't come off as easily as I've had them come off in the past. So the one side, it gave me a little trouble. I actually busted slightly, but I just glued it back when I put it together with the other side. Anyway, so it took a little finagling, but eventually I got it separated because I just wanted the family part, obviously, and not the box part behind. So once I had to get my X-Acto knife just to try and finish separating it there, and then that worked. And once I had the family, I take the adhesive cork board, so it's got a, you know, you remove the backing and then it's self-adhesive. So I just glued this onto the cork and then took my X-Acto knife to cut it, frame it, rather than pre-cutting it. Just thought this was easier, and it worked fine, but then you have to sort of cut the backing off. A little more glue on there. Trim it up just a little bit more, and then I'm attaching it to the sign. Now here's where I make a mistake. I push those through, add my hanger on, and the reason I do that is because I want the string to be flat on the other side before I glue down the family part of it. And I just used the old twine hanger to tie on the new nautical rope hanger. And I do reinforce it, obviously, with some hot glue. And I just knotted those two things. One of the things I liked about doing that is that I know my spacing is correct because I'm using the spacing that's already existing. Alright, now's where my mistake comes in, because I go to glue the family sign on the front, and so no big deal, I just throw some hot glue down, but I'm not thinking because the cork has an adhesive on the back, and so it's a plastic paper on the back. That's okay. I fix it later. And then I grabbed the chalk, which actually came with the sign, so I didn't have to buy the chalk. There was chalk on the back of this sign. And I just wrote chores, you know, dishes, laundry, whatever, just to show that that's one way you could use this sign. And then I cut another piece of nautical rope and made a little longer piece by knotting it all together and added my chalk on it. Just tied the chalk onto the twine, and now I'm just piecing these together to get a longer piece of twine. And I'm trying to be careful to make sure that it will reach all over the sign to write. So it has to be long enough, and that piece wasn't long enough, so then I added another section of twine on. And then I tied it, I think, to the nautical rope hanger on the back. And when I flip it over is when I realize I've made a mistake. Oh no. So finally I get it on there, and I just did the loop through to put it on there, and then flip it over, and that comes off. So then I'm like, oh duh. So I used my scissors or something just to score it and take that off. Guess what? I don't want to take it all off because then I would have this sticky exposed on the back. So I wanted to make sure that I left the liner on. See that? So it wasn't sticky and unexposed. And now it's done. But I changed what it says. I think I put family schedule just to show that there's so many things that this could be used for. So it could be family dinners, and you could have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you know. So I loved it. Hope you guys do too. Alright, so I take this little wood palette and I'm going to ombre it with the furniture markers. So I used one color, two colors, three colors. Then the fourth one, I just used all the colors to get it super dark, and it came out perfect. And you'll notice I didn't paint or marker any other portion of this palette. I just left it just like that. And look at that. I love that. So simple. Then I take a portion of the twine and measuring out the hanger. And remember, I'd left part of that pick, and so I used just 2 leaves on the pick. Now I'm going to use the Mod Podge. Got to open up the brushes that are part of the crafting supplies for a newbie. And I just put heavy amounts of Mod Podge on this. Now here's the thing, I could have just hot glued them down, but by putting the Mod Podge on, you almost thicken the leaves, and also it stiffens them. So I'm not going to get them to lay flat. I keep maneuvering and maneuvering and maneuvering, trying to soak that Mod Podge into it and get it to stick in, you know, 1 or 2 places. And then I'm holding it down while I Mod Podge it. So eventually I just took a little dot of hot glue there and then moved on to the green leaf and did the same thing. Soaked it in the Mod Podge. If you could see this in person, you'd understand what I'm saying. It gives it almost like a wax-like feel to it. That's not right, but something like that. Anyway. And then I add on the hanger, and I'm twisting because this is 1/3, I think, of the nautical rope. It's one of the sections. So they'll untwist. So I was just kind of twisting it to make sure I got it to the consistency that I wanted on that twist, and then just glued it on there. And then, of course, had to add a little pine cone and a twine bow. And then this piece is done, and I think it's so adorable. I love the ombre on that piece of wood. Hope you guys do too. Alright, so I've got the wood wreath here, and we're going to make a fall wreath. But I'm going to use the cardboard from our brushes because it was almost like a light greenish fallish color, and so I'm like, I'm going to use that because it's a supply technically. If you look at it like that, it's like a cardstock or something. So I cut out some fall leaves. I think I cut out 3, and then I used my furniture markers to give them some veins. And you see, I just used one of the leaves to roughly outline a fall leaf. Anyway, it worked fantastic, and it gave me more leaves. So I outlined them with the furniture marker too, just to give them some depth, and it was perfect. And then I had more leaves to use on my wreath, because of course I'm using just what's left of that pick from the first one. So now I just ran furniture marker all throughout this wood wreath, and that was just to get rid of sort of the bleached look of it and make it feel more fall. And it worked fantastic, and it was a great way to, I'm not painting the whole wreath, I'm just adding some darker colors to it. Now this is the pine cone bag, and that's what I used for the base of my embellishment on this wreath, and I just tied it on. It was perfect. Then I put my cardboard leaves back there, something in the back. I didn't put them in the forefront because they're not actual leaves, right? But they worked great. And then I just start embellishing this whole wreath. So I'm adding on, obviously, the leaves that I have from the pick, and then I just throw in some pine cones. Now, in this pine cone bag were these itty bitty little pumpkins. You can see them right there. And that was great. So those got added into this wreath. And obviously, I still have some other things left. Like I still have lots of beads and still have lots of pine cones. So I just start adding the pine cones around, spacing, you know, just visually spacing them. And then I decide that, gosh, after I get these on, I could have left it just this way, but I still had a lot of fall colored beads, and so I thought, let's add them on. Let's just keep going on this thing. So the first thing I do is make a hanger. Nope. First, I take what's left of the pick. This is fun. And I add beads to the bottom of it. Notice I took off all the spines, and then I put these beads on the bottom of it. I got to tell you, when I was looking at this, I wanted to make a turkey out of it because it looked like the back of a turkey tail. Anyway, so this was really fun. It came out super cute, and then just adding it to the bottom, I ended up going to the bottom on that and poking it through, and it added like this nice burst of color down there, and it was super easy. I'm just gluing making sure the beads don't fall off, so just popping some glue in there. Anyway, it worked amazing. Added another pine cone, and now I'm going to take those spines that I cut off the pick. I'm twirling them on a paintbrush and sticking them in. They were a nice little additive, and I even used my trash. I was even using my trash. And then I grab the beads, and I start making... Did I make a hanger? I pulled out all the ones that were the right colors. Nope, I just start adding little trios of the colored beads around each pine cone. So that was a nice pop on there. At first I did every other one and realized I still had some beads left. So I had the ability to do more. And here I'm lining them up because I'm thinking I'm going to do a hanger out of the beads. So I'm looking at what do I have left after I make a hanger, and then decide that I can go onto every pine cone and do a trio of the color. And I was just randomly picking the color so it wasn't repetitive from the one before, and so on and so forth. Now I'm going to take some twine, and I'm going to thread those beads. I think I only have like one little red one left at this point or something. And I just thread them on, and it's to make a hanger for the wreath. So once I get them on there, all I do is tie that on. Super easy. Tied it on there, and we are done, and I think this came out so cool. So I have one of these glass cutting boards, and I still have a piece of the adhesive cork board. So I just started tracing leaves, and I think I cut out like three fall leaves out of the cork board, and I have 2 or 3 fall leaves left from that original pick. So I really got a lot of usage out of one pick. And just trace and cut and trace and cut. And then I take my furniture marker and I start to write on the front of these, or like put some veins in it and stuff like that. And then I realized, no, that's going to be on the bottom of the cutting board. So then I realized I have to take the stuff off. Here I'm like deveining these leaves. I need them not to have the plastic stuff in them because I do need these to lay flat. So I take my furniture marker and re-add some dimension into them with that. Here's where I go, oh no, I can't put it on the front because it's going to get stuck on there. So I sort of laid out how I wanted it to go on there, then Mod Podge the back, and pretty heavy coat of Mod Podge actually. It took overnight for this to dry, which I would have expected because these don't exactly lay flat, so you're going to have pockets of Mod Podge, so it takes a little longer to dry. So I just put on the real leaves first, and then take the adhesive off, draw on my lines, and then just stuck them on there. But after I get them all on, I do put another coat of Mod Podge. And like I said, this took overnight to dry. In the end, I love it. It was super easy and a great way to use up some of those supplies. I hope you guys like it too. But I'm going to say it again, a lot of Mod Podge, and it did take overnight to dry. But what a great fall little cutting board to use for a party. Put some cheese on there, and you just get this hint of fall through the back of it. So I hope you guys like it. So at this point I had the box from the family sign and a lot of popsicle sticks. And so I was like, at first I was thinking I was going to make a tray. Then I was like, well, I really want to use the paints on something. And also I still had quite a few beads and nautical rope left. And so in the end I was like, I don't know, I think it'd be fun to make something whimsical. So had fun using these paints, and what I love about them when you use them on popsicle sticks is they soak in, so you still get like the wood comes through. I took the blue just to frame the sign because it's just a pressed board and it just wasn't going to tie in. And then I just wiped it off. So again, it just gave a hint of that color. And then I started just counting out my popsicle sticks and figuring like how many did I have to use for each color. And then just started painting them. And just one coat, and only on one side. I didn't need to paint both sides because of course I'm going to put them down onto this board. And I love how fresh and like summery this looked. And then just took the tacky glue, put a bunch down there, used a paintbrush and just sort of spread it all over and just started popping the popsicle sticks in. And it worked like a charm. And I do really love how this looks. And then, of course, I was going to put something. I could have left it like this, actually, and just made it sort of a fun tray. But again, I had a lot of twine. I had a lot of beads left over. And, oh, yeah, I did fill it in with half a popsicle stick on the last one there. So, because I had so much twine and beads left and whatnot, I was like, no, I'm going to use some more of those. And so I thought I would start making some twine flowers. And at first, that's all I was going to put in there was some twine flowers with beads. Centerpieces in the middle of them, put some beads to make the middle of the flower. So I cut a piece of nautical rope here and I'm separating it into the single strands because I'm using the same effect than when you make a tassel. Wrap it, tie the middle, but when you can do with one. I ended up doing with two, making a thicker flower. You just sort of spread them out and then put them together and you get like a nice flower shape. It's sort of cute. And then I just started making those and putting them on there and adding beads and just kept going. So you'll see me just glue one down and then another one down, and then voila, I flip it over and add some beads to the center of this flower. I think I even added, I added color around the center of it, which I just think came out really cute. So really popping some more color in there. And then I just made a a branch, I decided, like, I don't know, I can totally make this look like it's a standing up flower, so just added the green onto it. I liked using the green on top of the blue because it popped. So what I did was I took the green and then I added a little blue to it just to give that green a little darker color, which worked fine. And there we have the flower. And then I just went on and made another one. And just kept building up what I was putting on this. Oh yeah, I use the lighter just to, always whenever I'm using twine, I'll use the lighter just to get rid of the wispies. Now after I make this flower, I looked to the side and I realized I had separated out all of the pink beads. They were pink in there, and the reason I separated them out was because they weren't fall and they weren't the red and the blue. So, because I was using the red and blue for the patriotic and the fall colors for the fall stuff. And so I was like, oh crud, I have all these pink beads, and I was trying to use up all of my materials. Well, it was, again, it was a perfect mistake, because after I realized that, I was like, all right, then I have to use them. And so I did. I add one more flower here, and I don't end up using all the beads on this project. I still do have beads left over. So I finished up this little one and then decided how I was going to use the pink beads. Decided we had enough flowers on here, so I'd make like this little bud on here. Sorry, I forgot that. Like, I just took the twine and made it look like a little, like it's a little budding flower. It's not quite blooming yet. And just to fill in some of the gaps there. And then I go, all right, now I got to use these pink beads. So I was trying to figure out, like, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? And then I decided to make almost like a bush. So I took some popsicle sticks, I painted them with the green, and I add in the blue to darken them. And it really does work, by the way, using that light green and that blue. It's amazing what you can do with mixing colors. So basically what I end up doing is cutting this all up and putting almost like a bush. I just put some spines on it and at different levels, and then just started adding beads, like berries almost, on this bush. And actually it came out so cute. I loved this, and it was such a nice strong pop of color on the side there. It's just a fun, whimsical piece. Alright, I wanted to use the stick that was left over from the metal star, and I'm just going to make a pick to throw in a floral, and I had a bunch of popsicle sticks. So I made some really rough popsicle stick stars. I did one with hot glue, and the other one I tried the tacky glue. It didn't really stick, so I had to hold it together, but I wanted to see which one would hold better. In the end, they both held after they dried. And then I have the blue, so I'm going to paint one star blue, which isn't on the video, but then the other one I'm going to paint red, but I don't have red. So I made red, and the way you make red with this little color scheme that we have in the paints is you take the hot pink and the yellow. It's not a very dark red, but hey, I got red, and when I pair it with the blue star, it looks like a red. I really actually like this. I'm going to hold on to it, use it for my Americana holidays, 4th of July, and so on and so forth, and just put it into a big plant or something inside the house. Just a great way to use up some of the popsicle sticks and the paint. I was really trying to use up all my supplies, and so I decided I would make a little tray. And I so loved the ombre effect that happened on the little wood palette that I'm like, I'm going to repeat that. So I counted these all out, how many popsicle sticks I had left, and I grouped them in 4s. So I did 4, taking the very lightest marker, which is it the maple or the oak? I'm not sure. You can tell by the color of the cap. And then I did 4 of one single coat, and then right here I put 2 coats. I go over the popsicle stick twice. I'm only doing one side, by the way. And that was just to darken it slightly. So see how that 5th stick right there looks darker. So then I do 4 with 2 coats. And then as soon as I get that done, the next 4, I do 3. I go over it 3 times just to darken it a little bit more. And then I repeat that with the next marker and the next marker. So again, it was 4 of, but this could be any amount of popsicle sticks that you wanted to do too. I was just using what I had left. So I did 4 single coat of the marker, 4 2 coats of the marker, and then 4 3 coats of the marker. And again, I'm trying to repeat that ombre effect that I had on that wood palette. So the one thing about popsicle sticks is it's hard to get them all to, they don't lay flat. And so I was trying to, you know, pick the side that was going to go best and the flattest ones, and then pulled the ones that weren't as flat I was going to use for my brace on the back. So after a lot of marking, I finally got them all done, and it was time to try and put them together. So I'm finishing up my darker ones here. When I got to the very last one, see what I did there? I'm using the multiple colors to get it as dark as possible, just like I did on that wood palette. I mean, it works fairly well. I love this. It's like so, it really did ombre. So now I'm using my square to make sure that these are square, and I did them in sections. And the reason I did them in sections because it was easier to make sure they stayed square, and then I figured I can join them together afterwards, which is what I did right there. So I'm just joining them together, doing my sections, and then joining them together, making sure I kept my pattern intact, because that's important. Like if I messed it up and put one somewhere else, it wasn't going to match up. I'd overshot my popsicle stick a little bit there, so I trimmed it. And now I'm just reinforcing it with a lot of glue sticks on the back. I mean, it was tedious, but this was a fairly easy project, and I love how it turned out. And then I take my nautical rope. Now, it's not a complete nautical rope. Notice it's only like 2 sections twisted. I love that look. And I just glued it all around there. I wasn't, you know, it was just right on top of the edge of this. Cut it off and joined it together where I knew I could put my knotted handle, so it sort of covered it up. And I just went to a single strand or section to do my hangers, and that's it. It's kind of bowed, but I really, really like it. I think it's very beautiful. I hope you guys do too. Oh yeah, and I had to burn off the wispies. All right, so I don't have all the footage from this, but this sort of shows you how I did the cross. It's 3 popsicle sticks, and then I cut the 2 side sections. Now watch how I put it together right here. I go popsicle stick, cross, popsicle stick, cross, popsicle stick. And then I furniture markered them, I glued them together, and then I put the twine in the middle. I'm sorry, I lost all this footage, but in the end, it was a cute little project, and I used up all the beads too. So now, let's move on. All right, subscribers, rules for our patriotic craft challenge. Buy the 5 items listed here, and you are only allowed to use 3 other things to complete this, like your glue gun or twine or whatever. And you must have this craft completed and the picture sent to me by Tuesday, July 12th. Send it to my Facebook. That's linked down below in the description box. No winners, just fun.